Topics. This is Miss Corey. Today I'm going to talk through the directions for U7-L3. So, step one, for this assignment, you're going to choose 5 news stories that you think are the 5 most important stories of the year of 2026 so far. Because, of course, we're a little less than halfway over with 2026 already. So these 5 news stories will be between January 1st, 2026 to the present day. The news stories can be world news stories, national news stories, or even local news stories. Try to get your news stories that are not from extremely left or right news sources. So once again, I suggest that you look at this document to figure out if the news source you're getting from is too far on the left or too far on the right. Step number 2, you're going to open up the U7-L5 Top 5 News Stories of 2026 slideshow. On the slideshow, you will see that I've already laid out the slides for you. You're going to open up the speaker notes on each of the slides to see what the requirements are for each of the slides. Then you're going to fill out the slides with the news stories you have chosen. All right, so let me show you what the slideshow looks like. So this is our slideshow here. Okay, so it's the top 5 stories of 2026 so far. And then all you have to do here is put your name. And then here you need to put, the title of your news story on the next slide. And then for starting on slide number 3, you're going to slide up those speaker notes from the bottom. And on here, it'll tell you what you need to do for each of the slides. So for slide number 3, you're going to link to the news source itself, like what did it come from, like ABC or CBS or something like that. When the news story was published, the reporter of the news story, where this news story took place, and a picture relating to the news story. Slide number 4, you're going to do 4 to 6 sentences or bullet points summarizing the news story in your own words. Make sure it is in your own words. And then a picture relating to the news story. And then slide 5 is impact. So why do you think this news story is the most important news story of 2026? And then you're going to answer only one of the following questions. So how might this news story affect the world? How might this news story affect the United States? Who is the target audience of the news story? Why and what biases are in this news story? Remember, you only have to answer one of those questions, not all of them. And then include a picture. And then slide number 6. So listen carefully to this one, because this is where a lot of students lose points. So listen carefully. For this slide, you are going to answer the question, why is this news story newsworthy? If you need help, look back from our slideshow from Unit 1 about the 7 pillars of newsworthiness. You're going to complete your answer in 2 to 3 sentences or bullet points, and then a picture relating to your news story. So where students like to lose the most points with this slide is they don't choose one of the 7 pillars of newsworthiness. So make sure you do that. I even linked the slideshow in here for you to look at. All right. And then you're going to repeat the same steps for news story number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. When you're done with all 5 news stories, you're going to proofread your slide, make sure there aren't any grammar errors, and you answer all the questions, and then you will turn it into Schoology. So here are some of my tips. So this assignment is worth 90 formative points. Even though it is not a summative assignment, 90 formative points can still make or break your grade. So to put it into perspective, the Edpuzzle videos you watch and the weekly rundowns are usually worth only about 5 formative points. This is 90. If you'd rather do this assignment in Canva than using the slideshow template, just let me know. And if you need help finding a news article, let me know too. I can help you out. Make sure all of the wording of your answers in your slideshow are completely in your own words, because any use of AI or plagiarism will be an automatic 0 for the entire assignment. I have a link to the rubric here. And then here's also a link to an example I did. So this is the news stories from 2023. So of course you want to just copy and paste whatever I did for 2026. And I know some of you really like examples, so definitely go back and look at this slideshow if that helps you out. And if you have any questions, please let me know as soon as possible. This will be due Sunday, May 24th at midnight. Please note that Sunday, May 24th is the last day to submit late/missing work. Anything not turned in will become a permanent 0, so make sure you turn it in. Also, this is the last assignment for the semester. We'll have an end of semester survey next week as well. But this is like the last really big chunky assignment. There is not a final summative that covers like the whole semester or anything like that. So thank you for participating and being a part of Trending Topics with me. Like I said, next week you'll fill in the end of the semester survey of what I can do better for the class. Actually, I am not teaching this class next year. I'm taking on another section of world history. But I do still appreciate the feedback and thank you for being a part of it. I do enjoy teaching this class and seeing what news stories and trends are popular with all the students. All right, that's all we got. Remember, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm more than happy to help you out. Thanks for watching. Bye.